Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of Goddess Thoughts. You're here with your girl, none other than the Hidden Lovr. And I'm here as always every Tuesday live at 7 with Chef Love, and we here at the Black Rose Lounge. What's up, Chef? How you feeling today?
I'm good, tired, glad to be on vacation. You didn't know I teach culinary to high school kids, so you know.
You know, it's interesting. I know we got a topic, but it's interesting. You know, Thanksgiving coming up, so why don't you tell them what a culinary is doing, what the chef is cooking up?
Let me see what I cooked, because I had to cater and cook for the new fiance. So I cooked turkey.
By the way, congrats on the new engagement, y'all. Congrats.
So I cooked turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, seafood macaroni and cheese, chicken, turkey stuffing, rice, cornbread, homemade yellow rice. Y'all gotta start making your own rice. Trust me, get with me. I might hook you up with the recipe. Gravy, cornbread, collard greens, and cabbage. So y'all catered an event, and that's my new fiance meal he wanted. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
Oh, my uncle making a sweet potato pie, so I don't have to make desserts. But I would have made them.
Sweet potato pie.
Yes. Great.
You know, I think I have a problem with pies because
Why?
I love pie, but I can't eat the sugar.
Yes.
The sugar, you know, and it's like it's so hard, and it's like
Thanksgiving
you come around and it be like that
you
guilty
gotta
pleasure.
take
But
a
I try to
little.
stay
You gotta take a little
disciplined.
fish. Just say, "Oh, let me get a little piece."
I know, but it's like if you try to be different, you're like,
Yeah.
man, because you don't want to go all
Right.
out because it can't.
Yeah.
But you know. But anyway, back to the topic of today. So the topic of today is we're talking about pain, and we're talking about ways of how we can finally let go of pain or move on from pain, or even what it looked like. And the reason I chose that, because it's personal. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. You know, guys, if y'all follow me on TikTok or whatever, in my authenticity truth journey, you know, I'm saying authentic truth journey. I tell the truth about my life, and I'm going through it. My heart hurts. I'm in a lot of pain, and I can't figure out certain aspects of how to let go. And so I was like, well, let's be real and bring it here, and see who else can maybe able to help me in here, or Rose, or somebody online, because you guys are open to share your thoughts, comment anytime. But I'm gonna throw it to Rose first because you know it was my topic, is what I was feeling today. But what's your thoughts on it?
Whew. It's so much like pain we go through. We go through pain from our family members. We go through pain from our friends. We go through pains from our colleagues. We go through pains from losing our pets, losing people that we thought loved us but didn't love us. And then what we do, I feel like we punish ourselves for that. To say, what did I do wrong? Why this person don't love me? Why this person don't want me? Why this person treat me that kind of way? But in the end, it ain't even our pain. It's their pain. They hurting, so they don't know how to heal. So the best way for them, especially in our culture, is to least lash out and just make somebody else feel bad because they don't want to be the only person feeling bad. So, and I'm only speaking on personal. I can't speak on everybody else. I'm only speaking on personal, so don't come at me about this. It's my 58 years of personal.
She only got all that extra wisdom.
Thank you.
She only been around for a minute.
No, for me, it's just, I had to come to the truth of right now, I'm going through pain of really allowing this man to love me the way I've been praying for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the difference.
Like that pain, like, you know, he told me, I am not them. You know what I'm saying? That spoke volumes. That spoke some volumes. That spoke some volumes. Because we take so much baggage. People say baggage. It ain't baggage, it's pain. Because baggage you can drop off at the door. Pain coming from here and here. Yeah. So you can't tell me that's easy to do. Baggage, let me leave that at the door. Yeah. Let me put that in the trash. You can't put this in the trash.
It's like sometimes it can be like a slow tear. Sometimes Sometimes
Right.
it can feel like 1,000 paper cuts. Sometimes it can feel like a severed limb. Just depends on what, but hit different for all different levels of
Right.
pain, like you say. And it ain't always easy. And I know, like, my path of growing up, I was emotionally dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't express my emotions, so I blew up a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Very unhealthy, but you know what I'm saying? I never learned to process my pain. I never learned to even communicate how I'm feeling. And so now in this part of my life, I'm having to learn it.
Right.
And it's so hard at, being in your 40s and going through everything and the changes I'm going through as a woman. My youngest son is going to become 18, so now I'm transitioning from having a house full of kids for all these years to now
Right.
it's going to be empty.
Right.
I'm divorced.
Right.
Like, I have so many new different things, and it's like, how do you let go of all these things? How do you start letting the pain? And it's like, what's weighing heavy on my heart today is because I feel so alone. I feel so alone, and it's certain people around me that I expected, and they hurt. It hurts more when it comes from people you know. If that makes sense. I don't ever put my people on the spot on air, but
Right.
it hurts more when it comes from someone you know. And one thing I despise is to be lied to, and you know what I'm saying, especially unnecessarily. And it's like when you lose trust, and not just one person, you lose trust in multiple people that are in your inner circle at the same damn time.
Right.
That's the deep
Whew.
part.
That's the pain, because it's like, where do you go? Like, who's your outlet? Like, who can you trust? You can't trust nobody, because you're like, man, I gave this person all of me. I gave this person this person gave me life. This person this person that. This person is the one that I'm supposed to have trusted with my life. But I can't even trust you because you don't put so much pain on me. And people don't understand that emotional pain. I had to pray for one of my friends. She's going through a lot of emotional pain. And I'm like, I would rather be abused. And it may be sad to say that, but go through emotional pain. Because emotional pain, they just knock you down. If they doing the physical, they're going to knock you down. You're going to wake up or you're not. You know what I'm saying? But when they doing that emotional and that hurtful and that spiteful, just to say, I'm going to break you. I'm going to break you no matter what. How do you come back from that kind of pain?
And I think, and this kind of ties in, and it's crazy, like all this from last week of people
Right.
being fake and false. It's like, I feel like we're in a time right now in 2025 where people's soul tribes are coming together. We have to come together as a community to survive, because the whole world is changing, but America is changing. The things that are going on in the country right now, if people aren't paying attention, this country is really headed for a civil war. Bills are being acted, rights are being stripped away from us, and it's like all this stuff is going on right now. But then there's these divides, and we have to come together as a community. It's like when all the people that you trust, or some of the people that you trust, keep losing, you understand it's a lesson, but it's like
Still hurt. It's still, you had emotional bonds and spiritual bonds to these people, good or bad.
And it's like, how, I don't know how to move on. I think that's the thing. How to move on, how to stop letting someone cut you in.
But
That you love, like family. Like how do you let someone who you can't really remove from your life, but you can, from hurting you, putting those boundaries up because they habitualize stuff. I don't know.
I think I had to deal with that for 58 years. And it was like, and I hate when people say, oh, you only got one of them, we only got one of them, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you said you love me, why would you do that to me? And it's sad that most of that love, they love you, but then they come jealous of you. They come hateful. They come like, how can I break this person? And it ain't never no enemies. It's never the enemies.
And then it's like moving on. It's like I forgive. All right, y'all have a thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys, appreciate it. All right, it's like you forgive, and then you're going through your own healing process. I do, because I just don't forget, because if I forget, then I'm gonna have to repeat this lesson again.
Right.
I want to learn to gain wisdom. You have to get the information, apply that knowledge, and once you apply that knowledge and put in the lesson in your life, that's when the wisdom. I want to be wise, so I don't want to keep mixed. So I can't forget, but I forgive and move on. But then it's like, once you forgive, sometimes those memories, the triggers, the cues that hit, how do you deal with that? Like when someone comes in and it may not even be them, but they'll say something, and then all of a sudden you'll flash and that pain hit. How do you get out of that? How do you get out of that pain in that moment? Like
you won't, but the point of it is it's a long struggle, because we both done been through domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? It's a struggle where it's like for me, it took me a long time to get to the point where I forgave people, even let them back in my life and this and that. And I was like, what? Who's benefiting from this? Because I'm still in pain. I'm not going to forget what you did to me. But then in the end, it's like, who's getting hurt? They living their life. Oh, they forgave me. I'm happy. They're going to keep letting me come back. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. That's why I was like, that's why I said I don't forgive. I accept your apology, but I'm not going to forgive what you did. I understand your apology, but for me, forgiveness is for people who deserve it. You know what I'm saying? If you beat me and you know what you did, why should I forgive you? Because you know what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? If you hurt me by accident because we just became close and you went and told Empress something and it hurt my feelings, I'm going to forgive you because you don't know me. But this person love and care about me and do all this, but you hurt me? And then now, oh, I'm sorry.
You want to come on camera?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can. You might have to come in between. I don't know. Yeah, you might have to come in between us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
But I'm just saying, yeah, because I can't do it. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so for me, that's why I said I don't forgive. So I don't want nobody to be throwing no Bible verses up here and you forgive for you. No, you forgive for them. Because you ain't going to never forget what happened. So that's another, for me, that's painful too. When it's somebody that you look up to, supposed to be, you know, that's going to be another podcast for us. Cause
you talk about that. Yeah,
that one's going to be so,
I'm
going to be so emotional that I think everybody going to be crying.
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes you have to look at the pain, break it down, and understand it. And then you're going to have to just keep praying and then becoming one with yourself and your pain and your heart and your mind, and then you'll be able to let it go. It's going to be a process till you die, but at least you're on that process. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I got to go to the chicken factory, they got to clean the chickens, pluck them, and then kill them. So if they don't have that process, then what happens? You're going to get little tiny chickens because they overinflate them so much. So,
and I feel you, but it's like I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm drained. My energy.
But that's when you're getting to that. That's part of that process, sis. That's part of that process, because sometimes you know how the old people say, when you don't have enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't have enough, you so emotionally, physically drained where you like, I can't do this no more. I gotta wake up. You know what I'm saying? And I did that in my life with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Where I had to say, this person ain't gonna never love me the way I deserve to be loved. Period. So guess what? I'm gonna pray about it, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna make that phone call and say, I'm going to accept you for who you are, but I'm not going to let you mess with my peace. Period.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you do you, but the way you love me is not the way I want to be loved, but I'm accepted because with that person I got to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to go into something I want to ask, because like you said, toxic love. It's like, someone can love you. Y'all gonna trade for you? All right, go ahead. She gonna have to squeeze in here. We got another guest in here, and it's like what she was saying about toxic love. It's like someone could love you, but they can love you so wrong. But and they don't see that they love you so wrong, and they think in their mind because that's their type of love. Why you can't understand? That's why I'm loving you like that. But you're like, but it's toxic. It's horrible.
My people told me through all that domestic violence, that person said, you didn't know that we were supposed to be one, period. No outside, no breathing, no nothing. You were my everything. So when you wasn't my everything, I had to show you by putting my hands on you and abusing you to show you that this is the way I want to love you. Not accept you, but this is the way. That's back to that toxic stuff. That's what abusers do. But people are still abusers with our pain. Because it's all back to what I said earlier. So it's mentally and the mental part. I can handle the physical part, but I can't handle that mental part.
Well, we have Empress came up here, so we actually got somebody to come up here. So I want her to say and speak a little bit about what she's been listening to, or what's on your mind, what's on your heart, your spirit.
Well, what I was going to say in terms of, people.
I'm good. No, let her talk. Just let her talk.
Okay. Well, I was going to say in terms of people loving you, how they choose to love you. If you think about plants, every plant has to be in a different condition for it to thrive the way it needs to. Not every plant needs the same thing. So if plants are that intelligent and have those type of needs, then how different are people? You know what I mean? Everybody has their different needs, their desires, their opinions, their fears, their traumas. And another thing is, I want to interject in terms of how people use your fear and your traumas, you know what I mean? When you're sharing those personal pains, and when you're sharing those things, it's not for people to abuse it with you, but it's for you to have an opportunity to let the air get to it, let the spirit get to it, so that you can begin to heal. That's an initiation into healing. You cannot heal when you're covering it up so much, you know what I'm saying? It has to get that oxygen, that air, that spirit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if a person trusts you that much, you know what I'm saying, you have to respect that. But not everybody's to be trusted with your emotions, you know what I mean? Because in the right timing, at times, people will take, your traumas and your fears and try to tweak and break and get into your head with those things, and that is not okay.
And make excuses. Well, I didn't think that they needed that. I think that they needed this, and I didn't think that they needed that. But you don't know what I needed. Took it. So, like I said, the pain stuff is just. To me, for me, I don't think you ever get over it. I mean, I lost my son. I don't think I'll ever get over that.
I don't really think it's something for you to get over.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like at times we go through things and we experience it, so you're going to experience things, you know what I mean? And you're not going to understand why all the time, and that reasoning might not be so direct and in your face.
That part again?
The meaning might not be so direct in your face.
Before you said that.
You'll be going through things and you won't understand why.
And that's our problem. We want to know the why. And sometimes it's not a why. It's why they could. They could do it. You know what I'm saying? They could do it. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry.
Message.
So that's another thing too. We want to know why, but we can't explain why this person is like this. Because that person never revealed their true self. They just gave us their representative.
And my thing is, when it comes to people, it's not that hard to ask questions. And some people will be receptive enough to give you the answer that you're looking for. And it's for you to take those answers and.
But a lot of people will pacify you because this is what they think you need.
Give me examples of pacification.
Okay. I meet you. We're dating. I'm not going to tell you I'm abusive. I'm not going to tell you I'm jealous. I'm not going to tell you this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to open the door so I'm going to take you out. I'm going to treat you well. And you've seen that many times when men and women, or men marry these women, they so nice, they give them everything, and then all of a sudden, where you going? What you got that on for? I ain't tell you to go nowhere. then it goes to abuse. So they're just bringing their representative. Yeah, they're bringing their representative because guess what? We don't told them. Oh, I need a man that's gonna take care of me. I need a man that's gonna support me. I need a man that's gonna love me. They're gonna do. The abuser gonna do all that. So that's their representative because sometimes we tell too much.
That's something we was talking about the other day about. They say sometimes we can talk too much, and for people who are looking for a reason to manipulate you, talking too much gives them all the ammo they need.
Been there, done that.
People
Been there,
looking,
done that.
because a lot of people are scouting your weaknesses.
Yeah.
We tell our weaknesses, and it's not just in everything. We talk too much.
We do.
You know, we need to learn who we talking to, what we talking to, and learning the art of shutting the fuck up. I think that is a beautiful art of
Because
just being
you
quiet.
think people are happy for you, but they're not.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
true.
like, oh, this person love me, so I'm gonna tell you, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. You like, yeah, right, bitch. Go.
You know, so crazy. I actually recently went through experience, and I had to be real about the person that I was with. You know what I'm saying, and how they view my desires. You know what I mean? And you're right. People will pacify you. People will give you things. People will try to manipulate you with your lower desires,
right,
when you're clearly saying, I want this though.
But then we accept it.
Yeah.
Because we got their representative, and we think that, okay, this is what God wanted for us. But we always put everything on God. God ain't gonna put us through all that.
Yeah.
I mean, he may put us through it once in a while. He ain't gonna keep putting us through it.
But you know, I'm happy that you brought that concept up because for me, I struggle with that. You know what I mean? I grew up in a very religiously toxic, manipulative environment. You know, and after having stepped away for some time to see it from afar, I got to see the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
We all do.
Yeah. Okay.
So we all ain't on that religious level and we was as children, and we're older than you, and I was in the church. You know what I'm saying? And my mother was in the church. We was in church. And I grew up believing you're supposed to be married. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be that. You're supposed to be that. Come to find out, it was a bunch of lies told to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can respect principles.
I asked a question. What about that hurt of that religious hurt? What about that pain when you from people who go from get hurt by the church? How because the church can do a lot of damage.
I was hurt by the church because I was a member of this church, and then you're gonna like disrespect me. Like when I wanted to get married, like I'm a child, 40-something years old, I pay tithes, I go to church, pay for it. I was like doing that for 3.5 years, and that was the most miserable time I ever had in my life. Cause I'm not even socializing with people. I'm only socializing with people at singles in their church. But they go home, and I go home to this lonely house with me and my dog, and I'm already suffering from depression. But where was my outlet? So I'm not drinking no more. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing nothing. Because this is not what God's supposed to be. You're looking for a husband. You're supposed to be something. You're supposed to be this.
I feel like I wanted to touch on that because I feel like especially with us women, we're taught to kind of isolate ourselves in Christianity. Men are not really treated the same in that aspect. You know, they're not even told the same things really. They have their own secret discussions, you know what I'm saying, amongst themselves. You know, but for me, I feel like to some extent that is an installed male desire that has been put into religion or taught onto the pulpit because this man is low-key telling you what he wants and not really saying what God wants. And, you know what I mean? God, but like he wants you to be, you know, nobody's touching your all to himself because he's jealous, but he is not the one who created you. You know what I mean? You're like, he's not your creator. You're serving a false god in the name of who you think is the creator, but you didn't do enough research. You know what I mean? Because if you listen to what the people say, they're telling you exactly what they're saying, but they don't even know what they're saying. And you can't rely on their knowledge to understand in between the lines. You know what I mean? That's for us to be sure within ourselves. And for me, I've fallen short, not being sure with myself because I want to have more faith in someone outside of me. But I have discernment. I have wisdom. I have everything that I need. But for some reason, with religion, with these things, they'll convince you, oh, you don't know anything. You're a sheep. You're clueless, and you need to lean on this big. You need to lean on your Savior. You need to lean on your man. And it's like, okay, if I get to see clearly men either misleading people or not leading them nowhere, right? And this is on a consistent level, you know, and I'm supposed to be viewing God as my father, which for me is a disconnect because I don't see a father giving birth to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it creates a disconnect for me, you know, and it's like, as much as I want to fully love and adore this idea, I'm looking for the reality, you know, and the reality is the things that we've been taught isn't necessarily true, you know what I mean?
So how does that go back to the pain in the religion?
Well, for me, what pains me is the fact that my people were taken advantage of, you know what I mean? Because at some point, these people woke up and understood what the hell was going on.
Right.
Excuse my language. You know, I went to church one day, and I noticed that they were selling things in the church, and they had their oils. And I asked, how much is this oil? This big. They said, what, $50? I said, $50. I'm thinking for the set. They're like, oh, the just that. And this is just a pass-through pastor. So I'm like, you mean to tell me you got these pass-through pastors pimping out the people? And you just allow it? In front of your church? In front of your church. That means you permitted them to sell this in front of your church. After clearly it says in the Bible, Jesus flipped over the table. And I thought to myself, Most High, should I flip this table right now? Because I think these people have been telling me to be Christ-like, and the Christ in me is telling me to flip it. But the wise woman in me said, baby girl, the time for that is over. We've done enough flipping. We flipped enough tables. You know what I mean? We've flipped enough tables. We've sacrificed enough Christs. You know what I mean? And it's like, at this point, I chose to take my pain and walk away and heal and understand and analyze what I was feeling. You know, I more so be concerned with the people that are in the more toxic. Not every church is bad.
Right.
Not every church is bad. But the churches where you see them clearly doing things that are wrong, you know what I'm saying, that you know is wrong, and you just co-sign it and you continue to pay your tithe to fund it, you're fueling it, that's wrong. You're not paying to God.
And I want to say this. Too. You know, just to preface this conversation because since I brought up the actual question, religious based. We're only talking about certain aspects. Not talking about all religions. Not talking about all churches, temples, or whatever within. You know, but just the ones that misuse it and the ones who are given access and have a responsibility and aren't necessarily using it right or protecting the people in their institution from other people in the institution. But sometimes it's just finding out that it's not true, and the pain of tearing off. There's a huge pain in tearing a lie off, you know, from religion and being and seeing that everything you've been taught all these years wasn't true, and then you're going through that too. There's all different types. And we kind of touched on that, and that's kind of my final thoughts for today. I'm going to allow Chef Rose Black to give her final thoughts as well as Empress, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it on out.
I think, like I said, through my final thoughts, that pain is emotional and mental, and you ain't gonna never get over it. You just gotta process it. You gotta build those steps to process it to get to a point where you don't have to deal with it no more mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? And spiritually. So to me, I feel like once you get on those levels and you process that pain and you understand, because it takes you to understand why this person did this to me or why this person, even if it might not be their truth, it has to be your truth. So for me, that's how I'm accepting my pain, because I still hurt that my brother got killed. I still hurt that I lost my baby. You know what I'm saying? I still hurt that my grandmother, the most important person to me in my life, is gone. You know what I'm saying? I lost some great friends, and I still hurt by that. But it's not a painful hurt. It's just a hurt. But I've been through so much pain that I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna woosah and give it to him and pray about it. And just be happy with me and know that it's not my fault. I think when she said the why earlier. It's not always like, what did I do? You know, people can abuse us and we'll be like, what did I do? So for me, just to process it, get to that spiritual journey where it ain't even about loving you, because you always love you, it's just the levels of how you love. So that's my closing thoughts. And I would say happy feast day. I hope that all these government workers will be able to even enjoy it, even though I don't believe in a holiday, but still, you know, it's like Sis said earlier, it's a lot of people out here struggling. And like I said, I may not can give you a lot of money, but I'll show enough feed you. So remember everybody out here. Like she said, this country is not like it used to be. And it's to the point where now you're not even paying government people to go to work to do their job. That's supposed to protect us. That, I'm sorry, had I been in the military, they would have had to kick me out because I'd have been home with my family. I'm not working for free. So that's my final thoughts. So Chef Black Rose out.
It's on you. Yes, right there. She like me.
I know.
Is it my turn? Look at that. Okay, but you guys, what I have to say is, I hope everybody has a beautiful night. I really enjoyed speaking today. I'll definitely be coming on a bit more often to give support to the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
3 different age ranges.
yes, and when I tell you you're gonna get some perspective, honey, listen, it is an honor to have this type of perspective at this age. You know, if there's any young people watching this, respect your elders. Respect your elders. You know, and elders, know that you're an elder. Know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, how they gonna know you? How they gonna recognize you?
Respectful.
How they gonna recognize you and want to follow your standards and your principle of knowledge that you should have learned by now after all this time you've been here? and let go of what they're doing because they don't believe in you. They believe more in themselves than you. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be respected, you have to be respectable. You have to be respectful. It goes both ways. It's a 2-door street. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you're older don't mean you have the right to abuse the youth either. Because I know some of y'all be mad and jealous, and that be from the young to the old. You know, so that's for you to be accountable for. So respect yourself. You know, I'm learning myself. Shit, but
All right. If my final thoughts, first of all, I want to thank people that was here. I want to thank Empress for actually coming on the camera. I always want to thank Chef Black. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all gotta apologize. I'm going through a lot. I'm butchering everything, but I want to thank Chef Rose Black.
I'm a big
Black
bug
Rose,
and Black Rose. It don't matter, baby.
The
That was
Black
Miss
Rose
Eva telling you. Miss Eva telling you, don't forget, that's my ladybug. You know what I'm saying?
And that's facts. And it's funny, bug.
Go ahead.
Said something, you know what I'm saying, about the 3 generations and that, and I think in what she was saying about the elders, I feel like I'm a bridge. I feel like my generation is the bridge, and I feel like more of us, those who are in that millennial group, we are being called up to step up, because we sometimes have to be the bridge between older generations and younger generations who just don't hear each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to take that road, take that lead, because like you say, this world is not the same. This world is different. And I know we always talk, this came about pain, but what needed to come out in these final thoughts, and I'm going to leave it just like that. It's your girl, the hidden lover. I love you guys. Thank everybody for coming out, and as I always say, love and light. Y'all have a good night.